Hey guys, and welcome back. So I wanted to do a little bit of a different video for you guys today. This is going to be more along the lines of something that I had suggested to me several years ago when my husband joined the military, and then I have kept all of these years. So I wanted to suggest it kind of either for newer wives or even people who have been married for many, many years, just to kind of have that information. Was not something that I had ever heard of. So in military terms, they call it an I Love Me book. And what it is it's just a book of everything that has to do with you. My husband's I Love Me book had all of his certificates, his reenlistment papers. It has any of his college education, just anything that had to do with him, that anytime the military called for it, he could hand it to him or he could pull it out of there, and he always had it. So for a spouse being at home, this is good for if you're in the military, as well as even if you're not in the military. You have everything in here. If there's a fire in the house or if something happens, like, this is just a book you grab. You don't have to worry about like trying to find everything that's in different spots. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to show you the inside of it. So what I am going to do is just kind of tell you some things that are in here to give you that idea. So something that I have in here, I have sheet protectors, one for each person. So I will have their birth certificate and their shot records together in a sheet protector so that we have all of that up to date. I have our mortgage in here. When we lived on post, I had our leasing agreement with the on-post facility, and then I have Social Security cards. So I have like a business card sheet protector that I've put Social Security cards in there. I have, let's see, what else? We have orders in here. We have any like death certificates. We have our wills in here. Just anything that you can think of. If there was an emergency, what would you need in here that would be almost impossible or a really huge pain in the butt to replace? That is what's in here for us. So obviously, like, our driver's license and stuff is in other places, like our wallets and stuff, but typically I will have a copy of our driver's license in here as well, just in case that's not something we're able to grab. I don't do our credit cards or debit cards or anything like that and put them in here for obvious reasons. Let me see. I have our marriage license in here. I have all of my husband's veteran paperwork in here. I have his DD-214 in here. I want to keep all of that in one place so that if anything happens, all I have to do is grab this. One of the reasons why they suggested it when my husband was in the military was so that if anything were to happen, like God forbid something happened to my husband in a time of stress, I'm not going to remember to grab everything, and I'm not going to know what to grab. So all I have to do is grab this book, and I have everything in it. I had another spouse give me this suggestion, and this is where I kept it. Typically, when we were in the military, I kept our most recent tax return in here as well. I no longer do that. I kept my husband's emergency information anytime he was given a prescription for something that could test positive on a drug test. I always kept it in here, as well as a copy for him. I kept a copy of his military ID, and then at the very back I also had a sheet that showed different passwords that we would need in an emergency. A lot of the times they were passwords to like our bank account or something. I no longer keep that in here, obviously, because that's not really something we need anymore, as where several years ago it was. So if you haven't heard of this, you can look it up. There are many places, and there are several names for them. I use the I Love Me just because that's what the military called it, so it's just kind of something that like references in my brain. And just kind of look into it. Like I said, a lot of times for the younger wives who have not been given this information, I just feel like it's a really good tool to have. because we don't always know what's going to come our way. And this just kind of prepares you just in case something does happen. So if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. I would love to interact with you guys. And there's no question that is wrong or anything like that, because this is a book that not a lot of people have heard of. I have come into contact with a lot of people here, and that was something that I've heard a lot being out in the civilian world, is most people do not know what this is, and they're very confused on why it would be necessary. And then you explain to them, when there's a house fire, you just have to grab one book and you're not worried about it, and safes aren't always predictable and I don't even know what I was gonna use. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.